Life After Cancer online educational program. Shay's Warriors is a 501c3 nonprofit with an all-volunteer board of directors that was formed in the Coachella Valley to help our cancer community thrive after treatment is over. The mission of Shay's Warriors is to inspire, inform, and empower through health, fitness, and mind-body connection to heal survivors and their families through a network of national support. Our Talk, Listen, and Share community was formed as part of our online educational outreach to support each other through survivorship and thrivership. TLS is trying something new this year. We are introducing survivorship stories into our program twice a month. We will still have a live TLS hosted by our committee members every second Wednesday of the month, with a rerun the last Wednesday of the month. Please ask us questions and leave comments and feedback to let us know what topics you as a cancer survivor want to hear. We can't wait to hear from you. Now, let me introduce our speaker tonight. We have Miss Elizabeth Ayala, and I hope I said that correct, Liz. All right. She is one of our Shay's Warriors ambassadors and cancer thriver. She is married and mom to 3 amazing children and works for the Riverside County Veterans Service, assisting veterans to get service connected. Her cancer journey changed her life. She was diagnosed at 43 years old with Stage II Hormone Positive, HR positive invasive breast cancer, lost, alone, and struggling to navigate daily life. After finding peace and healing, attending the Shay's Warriors I Am Hope retreat, she found renewed purpose, inspiring her to return to school to pursue a degree in social work and sociology. Congratulations. Elizabeth's goal is to engage, heal, and inspire by sharing her personal story with other cancer survivors struggling to navigate life through cancer. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Elizabeth to share.
Good evening, everybody. So this evening, we're going to talk about survivorship, but in a little more fun and light topic. We're going to talk about how we will navigate survivorship, how we have fun, how we play, because obviously after cancer treatment, we have to take care of ourselves. We have to find a renewed sense of ourselves because we have changed dramatically from what we started. So tonight we'll talk about things that I've done. We'll bounce back and forth if there's any questions that you guys have regarding whatever you guys have done, or we'll do our best to answer any questions. But I know for myself, some of the things that I've been doing to start healing my soul, I have been showing up for myself first and foremost. I've been making sure that I always make time for me. That is the most important thing, is to be able to show up for yourself, to give yourself the grace to do the things that you need, to say no, to advocate for yourself. So this year, as I was saying earlier, this is the year of Elizabeth. So I've changed a lot of my mentality. I've done some different things, going back to school. But some of the things that the little baby steps, such as going to yoga, to clear up my mind, to start healing my body from, all of the exhaustion and the treatment, I just kind of got complacent and I needed an outlet. And yoga has been phenomenal work for my heart, my soul, my mind. It has really given me a space to clear myself, and the exercise just makes me feel good. Your heart is just going with you and you just feel so relieved. So that's like one of the little things that I have done to start having a little more fun. The yoga is actually fun. I actually enjoy the class that I attend. Everyone is fantastic. There's no judgment. You just enjoy the camaraderie, the friendships that you start building with your fellow group members that are doing yoga with you. Yes, your yogis, all of that. But also, I make time to do little things. have fun with my sister. We go out and we have a nail day, or we have like a little spa day, coffee with friends, little things like that to just, it doesn't have to be anything big to heal your soul, to have fun, to play. It's just little things. And it doesn't have to be you're going out somewhere. You can have coffee at home with friends, and you can have like a little lunch at home. You don't always have to go out and spend money. You can do it at home. That's the wonderful thing about um, getting back into that place of healing, so that you can learn how to have fun, because you do have to learn all of this stuff all over um, again, because you're in a different place.
Hello.
Hello.
She made it.
I made it. Hi. Sorry. I was like running today. Oh
So
goodness.
what do you do? You're doing yoga. That sounds like, self-care, definitely mindful spirit. That kind of has an extra thing with it, with the exercising part of balance and creating balance for you. Getting your nails done, again, a little bit of self-care. But what do you do for fun? What's fun?
Fun for me is getting in the kitchen and baking.
Oh, come on over.
I love baking. There is no greater joy than taking something out of the oven and having everybody around like waiting to get that first chocolate chip cookie straight from the oven.
Okay.
That brings me so much joy, and that's my happy place, is baking. And during the winter time, when it's not so hot, that oven is going all the time.
Awesome.
I love
Awesome.
it.
Sounds like as you develop your skills in social work, you'll be able to get to your clients for their stomach as well.
I sure will. Yes.
Excellent.
And
All right.
has that always been fun? And did that change, for people that, are surviving cancer, and maybe some of our watchers who are still on their journey? Did you give that up during your treatment? Did you feel like you couldn't do that? Like, what did that do for you?
Actually, baking was something that I started during my cancer journey. It was just something light that I would do because I was having such a difficult time. I felt all I was doing was sleeping because I was so exhausted. So I just needed to do something to give me a little bit of exercise, to get out of bed, to give me motivation. So I would start with something simple like cupcakes, and just go from there. But as I've gotten healthier and a little bit stronger, my baking has progressed to cakes and more cookies. And, I'm getting to that point where I'm ready to start venturing into the cinnamon rolls and the yeast rising. So yes, it's crazy to say, but it really, that's the flour, the sugar, all of the smells. How can you not have fun with all of those beautiful aromas? They just enlighten just thinking about it makes me smile. The scent, it's like when you smell lavender, you feel that aromatherapy, and it's the same thing with the baking. It just lifts your spirit, and it takes me to another place.
Wait till you start cooking with cinnamon. That's why they put that cinnamon like in Walmart right now for Christmas. You walk in and those pine cones are flavored with cinnamon, because you like, oh, this is awesome. I want to shop.
Yes.
So there's a lot to that when we're talking about, the different, lavender. Obviously we don't cook with lavender, but smells, herbs, essential oils, very healing and very natural, and can be an awesome orange twist. If you're cooking with some orange zest, that's also like having fun while you're doing that. So it's therapeutic. It really is. And that's awesome that you that you learned something new while you were on your cancer
I did.
journey.
And while I was going through that, my son started doing some of that stuff with me, and my daughter would do some of that stuff with me. So that made it, you know, even more fun because I
Little
had,
Top Chef Juniors.
yes, I had them right there with me. And that was, you know, who's going to bake with mom today? Who's going to get the first cookie?
That's awesome.
Love it. Actually, you can bake with lavender. I do that as well.
Oh, wow. I
So
did
you
not
can
know
make
that.
like, yeah, so there's culinary lavender, and you can actually get dried culinary lavender, and you can I've put it into cookies. I've made lavender infused salt before.
Okay.
And you
Oh,
can add that into like foods, just like how you would use regular salt as a seasoning. And it was actually one of my wedding favors that,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I love
I love
that.
lavender.
yeah. So don't discount it for food and also drinks too,
Also, always learning something new, right?
right?
Yeah.
So I'm sorry I jumped in late, Elizabeth, but like one of my questions for you is like, what would you suggest? Like, how would you suggest to other like cancer survivors how to find what they love or what they like, new things that they can try or to get more fun in their life?
um, I think if you're looking into doing like something crafty, walking through Joann's, through Michael's,
Mhm.
it's always, there's so much stuff in there that is inspiring. Um, Crocheting, there's so much stuff that you can do. But even if there's something that you've been interested, that you've seen a friend doing, it's even a great way to connect. Like I had mentioned, crocheting. Maybe you want to take up crocheting and your friend knows how to do it. That's a great way to bond with your friend. Um, and as you develop your skills, you can bring those to your survivorship sisters and brothers and teach them, so you guys can have fun and make stuff. I think it's just really about finding the things that pique your interest. Maybe reading wasn't something that you loved, but now you're in a different space. Take a good
Mhm.
book and read it. You know, as we have changed, our mindset is very different. We think very differently, and a good book, you can really surrender yourself
Hmm.
and go to another place. So it's just really about where you're at in your journey, what you want to do. Are there interests that you had in the past? Now's the time to do it. You know, this is our second chance at life. Go for it. If you want to run that marathon, go for it. You know, don't don't set your limits to what you think you can do, because everything is possible. You know, I'm a firm believer, where there's a will, there's a way, and I am living that. I am 100% going for everything that I can go for, because I know that I can do it. So for all my, all my survivors out there, my thrivers, don't, set yourselves to think that you can't do it, because you absolutely can, and everything is possible. You know, you can learn to crochet, you can learn to cook, take that culinary class that you wanted to take, have fun. We went through such a traumatic experience. Go out and allow yourself, give yourself the grace to do those things, to heal. And it's not about anybody else, it's about yourself. Heal yourself, and everything will fall into line for you. The things that you want to do, how you have fun, how you play, all of that good stuff, it'll come to you as you surrender your soul and you give yourself grace to do that.
Okay. That's amazing. Thank you. And let's see. So we are There was a question on our chats. What are some ways you find joy and have fun?
Um, the ways that I find joy, um, I am a big family girl. My children are my everything. So, my son plays baseball. I am at the baseball diamond with him all the time. When he needs me, I'm there. If I need to take him to jujitsu and sit in the parking lot for a meeting, I do that because that's my joy. That's my love, is my family. They bring me comfort. My sisters are my big joy. Um, my family is everything to me. And without my family, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So I don't have anything else to set other than family. You know, they make everything. My husband, my children, my pups, my two silly dogs. That's my joy. That's my happiness. When I come home from work, my family is there. We sit to dinner. The conversations. That's my healing place, to see my children. That's where my heart is.
Did you feel like so I'm sure as you were, coming out of getting, treatments, because you're so focused on, surviving and oh my gosh, that belt, kind of now what? Um, when you were thinking about things that because you knew that you needed to get back into life and do things, did you feel that you were making choices just for mental health, physical health? Like, did you feel you had physical limitations and wanted to start off slowly, or do you feel like you could have just jumped in there, but you weren't sure?
I don't think I was making choices for me. I think at the time I was still making choices to protect my family, to not let them see what was still going on within me. It took a lot of therapy, a lot of talking it out, to finally get to a point where I was actually able to make choices for me, instead of, let me do this for my family, let me do this for my son. I had to learn how to say, no, I can't do that. And I had to learn to say, I need time for me. And once I learned how to set those boundaries, I was able to slowly start to get to a point where I was able to show up for myself. And then being able to make the choices that I wanted to do, to heal myself. So it wasn't just like I could jump into it. I was in such a bad space, mentally, after treatment. I don't know how I got through those months, because I was living through a smile that wasn't genuine. So it was really challenging. So I wouldn't have been able to do what I'm doing now 2 years ago. It was I was a different person then than what I am now. I feel more empowered at this point in my life, now that I've learned how to take care of me. Um, Me is the primary, and then my family is not in a negative way, but they're second to me. I am the priority because I'm the only one that's going to protect my body. I only have one body, so I have to take care of me first and foremost. And I think it's learning how to balance all of the emotions that came with it, and then navigating through the process. And it takes a village. It takes a village to raise a family. It takes a village to get you through cancer journey. So surround yourself with great people, that share the same type of mentality, that will take you in that direction. And it'll be okay. I mean, it's not, I don't know. I don't think any of us, from our stories, I don't think any of us were able to jump into it right away. But I could be wrong. I mean, our journeys are all so distinct and so different. But it's taken me 2 years to get to the year of Liz.
If
Sure.
if you could go back, or somebody like who's coming out, and you kind of see what would you tell them to start getting them to get rid of the guilt? Because I can see, like, during your treatment, everybody's around you, and now you survived, and you still kind of need it to be about you, because now you need to heal from that. But now your family's like, well, you're okay now. So now you can jump back into being mom and going to work, and you're just not there. So how would you share with a new cancer survivor how to start setting those boundaries, and to recognize that it is still about you, and it's going to be for a while?
Well, first and foremost, you always, if I would have known what I know now, I would have told myself, get mental health therapy right away, because it is so critical to have that support system, because the traumas that you go through during treatment are very impactful. And if I would have known that I was going to need that type of care, I would have addressed it, because it really affected me. But I think it's finding the right, not only medical team, but that balance with advocating for yourself. I think it's really learning how to say no. I think we all have commitments, and everyone is pulling at us, and it's going to have to learn. You're going to have to learn to say no to things that you don't want to commit yourself to, because when you spread yourself thin, you're not giving everything that you have. You're just, it's really not impactful for you. So you have to learn how to say no, so that when you do commit to something, it is 100% you. You are giving your heart, you are giving your soul to the things that make you happy, that provide you joy, while at the same time you are getting your mental health treatments. So you are learning how to navigate your emotions and all of that trauma, and learning how to live a joyful life, just through a different method, and that's with your mental health care team. I can't stress how important it is to have a really great mental health care provider to help you, because you can get lost very easily, and it's not easy to navigate it by yourself. So you really do need someone there who understands and that isn't judgmental, because sometimes our friends and family don't understand, as you had mentioned. They'll mention, it's done, it's over, but it isn't. So it's important to be able to have that team, so that you can learn who you are, and where you want to go, so that you are living the life that you want to live, and in those positive moments, the joy, the happiness, having fun.
Yeah. And that's so amazing that, like, yeah, well, my question was what would you tell your 2-year-old past self, right? So and that's great that you brought up, having that mental health team around you, and that team can look very different for different people, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a mental health professional. It could be their support group. It could be their church groups, their, like
Right.
whoever and whomever they need to lean on at that point. And yes, of course, like mental health professionals are amazing, like options. But maybe it's not for everyone. Although it was the way to go for you, and I think that that's a really great thing to bring up.
Yes.
So, Elizabeth, we've
Yes.
talked about playing and fun, and we know that you're working towards this degree. But what's on your bucket list? Is there new stuff on your bucket list that wasn't on your bucket list before?
The only thing, and it scares me half to death, but I still want to bungee jump.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it. I know my husband is he's still adventurous, so I think that's gonna be the one thing that
have you looked into it? Made the phone? You got to make that step. Like, yes. Where do they do it?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Good for you.
like real like bungee jumping or like indoor bungee jumping?
Like real bungee jumping.
Oh.
It's something that I don't know why. Like I was watching something and I saw someone bungee jumping. I'm like, you know what? That's just as good as skydiving.
Okay.
Good for you. That's awesome. So usually when you have, we say you can't hit the target if you don't take aim. So have you given yourself a time frame? Is that like your graduation gift? Is it like like we're checking it out in the next 6 months? Like, I want to hear the plan.
Well, the plan is to make sure that I graduate first and foremost. So
you are going to graduate with flying colors. I have no doubt.
That is my objective, is to make sure that I get that degree, because that is just so important to me. And I think the reward will be the bungee jumping.
Okay.
Well, we can't wait to hear about it.
Videotape it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it'll just make us feel like we were there.
GoPro,
Yes. Yes. And we'll share it on our next session.
There you go. There we go. Perfect. So this has been a really fun, fast talk, listen, share tonight. We are starting our 30-minute quick format for this season and trying it out. And so we're going to wrap this up. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for sharing your tips for having fun and playing and like bringing joy and finding joy in your life. Want to thank you, Jeannie, for coming in and introducing Elizabeth, and for our watchers and viewers tonight, listeners tonight. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for being there for to support us through the years that we've been doing Talk, Listen, Share. And we were able to put all of this programming on through the generosity of our community partners and sponsors. And this all leads up to our annual I Am Hope Cancer Survivors Healing Retreat that we've been hearing about, and that has touched so many people's lives over the past few years. And if you are, one of the things that we are trying to do this in Talk, Listen, Share this season is to get your feedback on all of these, on what topics you want to hear from us. It's really, we are here for you, and we want to see where survivors are having questions. So if you can go to our website, click on events, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, X, so many different platforms. You can ask your questions there. We will happily like pick up all the topics and see where we can plug those in our Talk, Listen, Share segments. And we will be on next month on the second Wednesday, and with Jeannie speaking about best of self-care. So check us out. Look for us on December 11th at 6 p.m. And thank you, and have a great night.
Good night.
Where is the